This is the Xiaomi 11T. The 11T series was just launched last week, and if you didn't already notice, Xiaomi dropped its Mi branding for its newer products. So this is officially called the Xiaomi 11T, and like other phones in the T series, this is another phone that offers flagship specs but at a more affordable price point. I've been using it for a week, so here's what I think. But before we start, this video is brought to you by Good Deals by KLGG, our official e-store where you can get all kinds of awesome gadgets. You can get 10 ringgit off your first purchase and also enjoy 0% installment on our store with IOU Pay and Atomi. Visit the link below for more information. In terms of design, the 11T looks pretty common to me. This phone is in meteorite grey and has these horizontal lines across the phone and a mirror-like finish. What I do like about this phone is that it doesn't attract fingerprints despite the shiny finish. So if you can't stand having fingerprints on your phone, you'd be happy with this. The 11T is also quite a large device, sporting a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel. The display is one of the brightest I've seen on smartphones, and the support for 120Hz refresh rate makes the phone even more appealing. Its colors are vivid, sharp, and you get good viewing angles. You can switch the display's color scheme, but I think vivid is the best option to go for because the colors are just right and you get a slightly higher contrast with this option. The 11T also has a good pair of dual speakers, even though it doesn't have as much depth as the 11T Pro that has speakers with sound by Harman Kardon. Now, one of the bigger differences between the 11T and the 11T Pro is their processors. The 11T Pro has a Snapdragon 888 chip, while the 11T is using a MediaTek Dimensity 1200 Ultra chip. This is paired with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. I've tried playing Genshin on this phone, and I've got to say, I'm glad it doesn't have the overheating issue like the Snapdragon 888 phones. The phone can handle Genshin at high graphics with 60 frames per second. It took a while before it warms up a little bit, and I've only had a few moments where the game started and skipped frames. But overall, the 11T can run Genshin quite smoothly. Now let's talk about cameras. The 11T has a 108MP camera paired with an 8MP ultra-wide lens and a 5MP tele-macro lens. On the front, you're getting a 16MP selfie lens. I just want to say that if you're getting this phone, you're going for the amazing rear cameras, but not so much on the selfie lens. While it does have beauty effects, it's not like your typical Vivo and Oppo phones that come with makeup filters. It's also not that great at low light selfies. That being said, the 11T has a good rear camera setup. Its 108MP take clear and bright shots, colors are not too saturated and not too toned down. It's one of the phones where you can just capture photos and upload on your social media without much editing. I do like its tele-macro lens because I think it retains more details and the colors are still accurate even when I take macro shots at night. Speaking of which, the 11T captures good low-light photos in which you get better details and the photos are brightened up nicely, not in an extreme way like some other phones. But I did notice an issue, which is the focusing when using night mode on closer subjects. More often than not, the lens couldn't focus on the subject and instead focuses on the background. It's not a problem if you're shooting a landscape or a night view, but if you're shooting an object that's really near you, you're better off switching off the night mode. Perhaps this is something Xiaomi will address in its future software updates. The 11T also has a one-click AI cinema. This is a feature Xiaomi introduced a while back. There are several movie effects you can play with, but we won't be doing that in this review because there will be an upcoming video that focuses entirely on these camera effects, so stay tuned for that. Alright, battery life. The 11T has a 5000 mAh battery and charges up to 67 watts. That's better than a lot of flagships and also means that you can get a full charge in just 36 minutes. It's not as crazy as the 11T Pro that supports a 120W fast charge, but it's still a good phone that charges faster than the average smartphone in the market. The good news is you'll get the 67W charger in the box. So what makes this phone so attractive? The price, of course. The Xiaomi 11T is priced at 1,699 ringgit, but if you want more storage, you can pay the extra 200 ringgit for the 256GB variant. This puts the phone in a mid-range price even though it offers flagship specs, which is why many will find this a pretty good deal. It's just not a selfie phone, but other than that, this is a phone worth considering. But if you want the 256GB model, you should know that adding extra 200 ringgit will actually get you the Xiaomi 11T Pro. And we will be doing a video on the 11T Pro too, so stay tuned to find out whether you would want the Pro model or you'll be fine sticking with the Xiaomi 11T. And that's it for our video today. Let us know if you have any question. You can just drop it in the comment section down below. As usual, subscribe to our channel KLGadgetTV, and I'll see you in the next one.